Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting Toy Town video. Who's this big guy blocking my way? I know, right? Guys, meet Darth Vader. One of the all-time greatest villains of all time. One of the all-time greatest villains of all time. You know what I mean? He is it. He is evil. He is everything you want to be. And apparently he likes to drop the phone and use the Force to make it fall. I apologize for that. But guess what? Pardon the dust and grime, but in 1983, Darth Vader here was more than just a toy for kids. He was a carrying case. That's right, he was a carrying case. He's molded to carry Star Wars figures. And it was such a cool idea, because you could also use it as a play set, you could use your imagination as a kid, which kids nowadays lack, by the way. So when I grew up, I mean, this is one of the toys that I really, this is how we carried our toys around. And how you kept them separated from your friends. So, this opens up, which I'm going to do right now. I'm not sure what's going to fall out, so bear with me. Yeah, it's been a while since I've opened this bad boy. And what we had here was a whole bunch of action figures. Now, not all these are old, by the way. A lot of them are, and a lot of them are not. Because they're just not. Like here we have a medical droid from 1982. Look how simple it was. By the way, I thought he was so awesome. Saves Luke's life. All the way to General VR, which he's a minor character from Return of the Jedi. To seldom known bounty hunters wearing other people's outfits. But these were used to carry all of our toys around. But what they also did is they already had the names labeled in there. So I'm just going to bring the phone up here. Sorry, guys, while I do this. But if you look down, you'll see Stormtrooper, Snaggletooth, Walrus Man, Princess Leia, Greedo, Luke Skywalker. These were all labeled for us as kids, so we knew which figures we had. Sorry, I just got to move this in. Now, as a Star Wars collector, this was crazy stuff, man. This is stuff we really wanted to have. Now, the good news and bad news is, as kids, you could never get enough. You always wanted more. And what often happened was your parents gave you more. Like, come on, I even wanted to get Princess Leia. Like, not bad. Simplistic modeling compared to some of the nowadays toys. But come on. Luke Skywalker. Or we often just let him be called a rebel trooper. Because there was other Lukes from that one, and we'd like to have more soldier-type toys to add to our armies, versus all the Imperial Stormtroopers, which this one is from... This is an original from Star Wars. This is a 1977 Stormtrooper with no yellowing. Not the easiest to find. And somehow, that was what worked. Tron, from years ago, and he still lights up. He is not a Star Wars toy, but he's in my box for some reason. Maybe my son or somebody put him in here at one point. Now, guys, Star Wars has a very long history. Well before Disney took over. Now, it's not to say it's right or wrong. George Lucas had to do something at some point. But, were they the right ones? Who knows? But there was great toys, guys, and there was a lot of great memories playing with this stuff from the original R2-D2, which, by the way, clicky head to give you the sounds, and he could fold back to make him, move like a real one. And he has his own little holder here, which he always fell out of, and he still does. To, good old Greedo. I wonder who shot first. Remember that one? Who shot first? These were classics, guys. They were toys we grew up with in our time, and a lot of kids forget this stuff. They know about the new Star Wars stuff, but the original action figures, which are called 3.75 inch, these didn't have a lot of articulation. Kenner at the time making these toys made them in mass molds. The mass molds allowed for certain printings and imprintings and very fast creation with the colors, dyes, and tinting, which is why some of the tinting will even look off-colored on some of the figures because they rushed to production to get these into the stores. A lot of TV shows and movies, in case you guys didn't know, those are made actually to support toy lines where they actually make their money. Cost them, let's say, $1 million to make an episode of a cartoon. I'm just going to use a number. But think about this 5-cent toy making hundreds of millions of dollars because they sell millions worldwide. See where I'm going with this? It can get a little bit ridiculous. Now, as I was saying before, Star Wars, they've had many iterations, many types, from the newest ones, like Revenge of the Sith style, with, clone troopers and stuff, which, I gotta admit, the articulation on these is wonderful. But, as I learned, a lot of the kids nowadays, where is it? Over here? Over here? They start pulling these apart. They don't know any better. So the hands get ripped right out. They can come out if you pull hard enough. And I'll be honest, they shouldn't be able to do that. I love the articulation. I love the poses and battle stances you can give the figures, right? But at the same time, it's almost like they shortchange us because they break so easy, they have to be replaced, which is a typical disposable society. And I'm not sure that that's what Chewbacca would want. Right? This original Chewbacca, 1977, it's 3 Now, they make him taller. They actually tried to make him taller than, say, where's a Stormtrooper? Look at the height difference. They purposely were trying. There's finger to finger. He's about a foot taller. They're making him a little more in line with, how they should be. And I love that. We loved it. Chewbacca was a bad boy, man. He was a tough dude. With that crossbow taking people out, blew our minds as kids. And when he hit somebody and they just fall to the ground, that's just showing how powerful he was. And it's awesome. Now, when you look at this as a kid, of course you want to play with these. Dude, you want to bust these out, and you want to get in there like Ree-Eze. Horrible figure name. Right? Ree-Eze. He's from Return of the Jedi. He's on the barge with Jabba the Hutt. He goes down like the rest of them. But when you look at that, you want to play with these, man. You want to bust this up. So what would happen is now you need the play sets. Now you need to have the toys. You want to have the bigger stuff. And there was nothing better than what I'm going to show you guys next, which was truly, as a kid, you're just like, blew your mind. So just hold on one second. I'm going to put this down. I'm not putting it away, because I want to show you something else. Now, what I'm going to show you will not totally fit on camera, so please excuse me, guys, as I try to move this and maneuver it. But I will try to pick the phone up and give you some angles, okay? So, hold on. Toy times continue. Don't worry, I'm just ducking out of here to grab something. And no force being used to knock the phone off, hopefully. All right, hold on. Coming in. All right, so what we have here. Uh-oh. Bad things are happening. Old toy. There we go. So what we have here is an original 1977 Death Star. So the problem was this is really old now, guys. And I have little pieces of things to hold some stuff together so they don't fall. But this is like when Luke and them went aboard the Death Star and tried to deactivate things. So this toy as an original had all kinds, pardon me, I was getting some figures, had all kinds of points and places you could play within it. There's multiple tiers. So you could have guards. Sorry, Princess Leia, I know you're not a guard. Standing there. You could have another one over here. Right? Then you could go up here. Let's say we busted out little R2-D2 and he's coming across the top there. And you could put them on in some kind of articulation and action. And the bridge could be drawn back so they couldn't chase them and couldn't catch up to them. At the same time, there's computer panels here. So you could actually have your guys working at a computer panel. And there was little pegs for putting the figures on the panels. This was a play set. This was crazy. Oh no, he fell down. This was crazy stuff. Now, this toy is not that hard to make. It really wasn't. Pardon me as I think. It was not that hard to make, guys. It has cardboard facet fronts, which I will show you, and has some plastic platforms to play with. It even has the trash compactor, which I will break this down and show you piece by piece. But you have to understand, for the time as a kid, this was amazing. This was something we were like blown away by when we saw this in catalogs and toy stores, maybe luckily at a Kmart. All right, so I'm gonna grab the phone here and just kind of move it around for you a little bit, okay? So if you look at the front of the Death Star, it's like right out of the movie. Look, it's got panels going all the way down until you reach the bottom where you get the trash compactor here, which unfortunately kind of fell apart there when I started to pick everything up. But the trash compactor does fully work. These panels actually slid in, if you look here, with little cardboard slats, each level. The back here has an elevator, which you could close, right? Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed, which is not helping me here. So you close the elevator, and then you could raise it up levels with the little tab, and you could actually pinch it off to have it stop at a level, which was crazy. And then it could open and go to the next level. The very top is where we had Obi-Wan Kenobi do his business to stop the bad guys at the end, turn off the deflector shield. And then you have one, because remember there'd be hundreds of these, those giant pulse cannons. And the guy could sit there and fire the giant pulse cannon into the sky. And again, multiple places to sit a figure down, pardon the dust, and get that figure and that arrangement you wanted as a kid. And because the pieces are actually secular, you could even pretend parts of it were being destroyed as it exploded when the rebels attacked. You could have them escape from the trash compactor out the back, and there was all kinds of foam that would fit in here, which was crazy. Now, of course, a lot of it's missing. This toy is, almost 40 years old, but it was still crazy to see. I'm just going to put the foam back here. Bear with me here. Bear with me. There we go. And I'm just going to put this on the ground so we can talk normally. Although, pretty tempted to play with this. So, see, every time, these panels are really old. They don't stick in that well. All right, ready? We're going to do a lift. No, that's not going to work. We're going to do a lift this way. Oh, well, panel fell again. But it was truly something to behold, seeing toys like that as a child. And, of course, I sought these toys out as a kid, and I went for them again as an adult. Some of these are original I had as a kid. Some are not. Some are things I've just picked up because I loved having them as a kid. And I love the idea. Now, this is always hard. I got to fold this up at the exact same time. Aha! And you get that sucker together. So, it was amazing to see that and have it come out and play. Now, the other thing that happens to me is I love my toys, as you guys can tell. I'm kind of a toy guy. So, as I go back here, if you look at my toy collection, you will see I have quite an array of original in-package Star Wars figures that I've collected over the time. Some of my favorite ones are up here on the wall. I have other ones that are even more precious to me, and those ones kind of sit inside carded cases, right? Now, those are not mint. Most of them are falling out of the packages and stuff, right? But I just, like, Boba Fett's the man, okay? I don't care what they say. See an original 1977 in-package Boba Fett? That's my boy, okay? And they're amazing toys. Now, I'd like to say, guys, I would like to do more videos on this. I would like to expand this topic a little bit for those guys who are really into Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers. I love talking about it. As you can tell, I'm quite passionate. I really enjoy the subject matter. I just like to know what people would like to see. My collection is actually quite extensive. It's kind of most of it boxed up nowadays. So if you could comment on this, if you subscribe to the channel, and I do a lot of Magic stuff as well, of course, for those who are not into Magic cards, but I'm willing to do more toy videos if I have a big enough following of people who would like to see more of it. So you can leave a comment, you can subscribe to the channel, join me here at MTG Moxman. Please get your friends involved, and we'll see what we can do. Okay. So anyway, that was the That was the Star Wars Death Star, 1977. And I followed that up, of course, with the case from 1977 with a variety of figures. And I will branch out on this topic again next time. I mean, I didn't realize how fast the time would go, but that's all we have today for Toy Time. Okay, guys, have a great one. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. And please, yes, leave some comments so we can see what you guys would like to see next from my collection. Okay? Cheers, guys. Let me know.